Guys, welcome to my videos. So guys, housing, which is a basic human need, because everyone needs a roof over their head where they can feel relaxed, raise their family, and do the right thing. Why housing is becoming a trap in both ways for Indians nowadays, especially for the newer generation. I mean to say that those who have it, those who have purchased a house, they are unhappy, going into depression. Many are already in, and those who don't have it, they also have this issue. Why? And what are the solutions? So make sure you watch this video till the end, guys. I have done too much of research about this topic, and I hope you're gonna like it. So guys, consider two individuals, same age, let's say 29. One has a house, one doesn't have a house. When I say doesn't have a house means has not purchased a house. Okay. Now person A who has a house, what are his main worriedness? He has got a house, maybe his dream house, dream apartment or house, whatever. But is he happy? No, he's not. Because he now, his stress is his EMI that he has to pay every month. And especially nowadays when job security probably does not exist except in government sectors in India, people are concerned more about job losses nowadays. What if there's a sudden job loss? What if there is a sudden illness? What if there are some expenses unplanned? And if they have kids, they also have to save for the future of their kids, their study, their marriage, etc. Like there are endless expenses in today's world. So if you make a good amount of salary, let's say 1 lakh is take home for this guy, maybe 60-70 going just for house EMI, and then after paying all the bills, credit card bills, internet bill, phone bill, there's nothing left on table to put food, right? This is the reality, sad reality. And at the end of the month they feel like they have nothing. They are living in a house, but looks like a house is living inside them. You are registered as the owner of the house, but bank or your whoever is your loan provider is actually the real owner. Because if you start missing on your EMIs, you know what it could cost, right? So this is the stage one. Now for the other step, another person whose age is same, making the same amount of salary, is living on rent. So what he is going through, he is hearing from his parents, oh, why haven't you purchased a house? He is opening social media, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. Everywhere you see his friends posting pictures, videos. Oh, this is my new house, my new house tour. Like people are making such videos. Then societal pressure. His relatives say, oh, you haven't purchased a house, but you got a good job, right? Why you haven't purchased a house? Everywhere. Then he gets a lot of phone calls from his bank where his salary is being credited, and his RM is saying, sir, you are approved, you are pre-approved for such a huge loan. Why are you not buying a house? You have some brokers around you who are saying this to you, maybe coming at your office gate selling property, saying that, sir, property prices never go down in India, you just purchase it now, otherwise you are gonna regret it in future. These things happen everywhere and everyone is being impacted. But out of these, in both these situations, what is the life? Is it just stress? The reality is just stress. You're not living your life, you are just living the stress. If you buy a house, oh, EMIs. If you don't buy a house, oh, another pressure. Like renting is like burning your money. You are paying someone else mortgage. Lot of things you hear, right? And so what's the reason? So the reason is when something is treated, some basic necessity is treated not as basic necessity but as an investment or something more than that. That's where this leads to. Let me tell you, housing is treated as a basic need. So apart from housing, what are the other basic needs? Everyone needs food, everyone needs clothes, right? So when it comes to food, clothes, of course, inflation impacts everything. I'm not denying that. But still, under various budgets, various options are available, right? If I want to buy a t-shirt, I can buy in 200 rupees also. I can buy in 20,000 rupees also, right? Based on my budget, I can decide what I'm going to buy. But can you do that with housing? I don't think so. If you want to eat, you want to save money, you can go to a roadside dhaba and eat. If you don't want to cook, if you can cook, that's the best. But if you have money, you can go to a 5-star restaurant also. But you have all the budgets available, right? You can have a meal in 200 rupees also, you can have a meal in 20,000 rupees also. Same thing here. But do you have such choices when it comes to houses? Not at all. That's the reality. Because the way it has been designed, the way it has been presented, it's in a way that many people consider it as an investment, right? So someone ultra rich might have taken 10-15 units in a housing society and just renting them, or maybe waiting for prices to inflate so that he can make a profit. So those guys will get the profit, bank will get its money, brokers will get their money, but ultimately who's going to be impacted? Common people like you and me, because we are not real estate investors. We are not real estate investors. We cannot afford 15 houses. So this is the way. So the solution, if you talk about, is that regardless of social pressure, people should see their current situation. When you are considering to buy a house, see if you have sufficient money to pay EMI, and after paying EMI, do you have sufficient savings for 6 months? Can you absorb some shock like 6 months of no salary? Can you still pay education school fee for your kids, medicine, insurance cost and other things? I mean, make a budget, do the calculation. If you find it's not meeting up, there's no harm in going on rent, because if you're going on rent, you're going to pay less than EMI, of course. And then maintenance charges, no, most of the maintenance charges are not on your head. You have the flexibility to move out, to even switch the jobs. Those who are trapped in EMIs, they are trapped. You probably want to switch your job, you have a very toxic work culture, you are not satisfied, you are just tired from inside, but your EMI is not letting you, because now your EMI has become your boss. You are not the owner of your house is the owner of you. This becomes, I'm not saying buying a house is wrong, definitely not. It's a very good thing to do, but can you really afford it? That's the question here. If you can afford it, go for it, no doubt. If your job is stable, if your plan is not to move out, if your job is fixed in a city, there's no harm in buying a house there, because ultimately you're going to live over there, and if you can retire from there, that's fine. And by the time of retirement, your house will be your own, no bank, no lien, nothing, right? But if it is flexible, you have the opportunity to move out, maybe you should consider renting first, because as I said, everything has pros and cons. Renting too has both pros and cons, no doubt, same as buying. So a careful analysis needs to be done, because not everyone fits the same shoe, right? So this is how you should proceed. Even I think that government should also take decisions, some strict decisions, like some affordable units should be prioritized, so that even middle class people get their houses at affordable prices. And at the same time, investing in real estate should be highly regulated. I mean, an investor not even living in India, like an NRI, OCI, shouldn't be allowed to buy 20 units in a housing society. Then others will not get those units, right? So how it can be curtailed? Either you reduce the number, or you implement heavy taxes. So if you're buying second or fifth unit, you have to pay more taxes. So definitely it will reduce such investments. So this is what my take was on, guys. What do you feel about this? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel.